they're just going to agree to divide this thing up. Now, Russia has been around for a very long time, so it's going to be interesting to see what countries they decide to release, what countries they decide don't need to be released, and what countries they decide to draw new borders for. Let's take a look at how the Russian Federation officially collapses following the end of World War III and the collapse of the global economy. First of all, we have the releasing of the Estonian country. Y'all remember this thing? Because I almost don't. Now, I do remember them having this coastal area right here, these two provinces, but I decided to give that over to Poland because it would look stupid. But we have Estonia coming back, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is the same Estonia that we saw in episode 17. For example, it's not, because that was hundreds of years ago. It's the same color. I might change that. Honestly, I do like the red, even though there is a red country right there. Spoiler alert, they may not be there for very long. So don't worry about that. But Estonia is the first country released by Russia. Oh, episode 17 was the one where the red team went on that crazy conquest. But now we move down to the military occupation area of Russia. This is where things get a little bit interesting because their military, of course, is going to leave this. And this will form into its own country. In fact, it's going to form into two of its own countries. The left side will be the gold country, not the gold country, a gold country. Just coloring it the same color because I like to keep it, similar. Not the same gold country that was in World War I. Not the same gold country that was on this map hundreds of years ago in like the 1500s or 1400s. Not the same. Maybe it has the same culture, but obviously it's not the same country from hundreds, 500 years ago, or whatever it was. Same capital city, though. It's kind of suspicious. Estonia, you also need a capital. That city was your capital. That no longer exists. Thank you, nuclear bombs. So your new one will be right about here. That's actually where their capital is in real life, so that works. Anyway, now we get down to this country right here. They will be a dark gray color. I think we need some of that over here, especially with all these light colors. And their capital city will be right here. Now we're moving back up north to northern Russia, where we will see the return of two familiar faces. One way more familiar than the other, but still two familiar faces if you know your history. It's crazy that you could teach a whole course of subject of history just for the Wixo series. Insanity. But first of all, we have what should be a familiar color to all of you. The dark red Russian country has come back, and they are a little bit bigger than they were before, not gonna lie. But that is because my lazy bum did not go ahead and draw in the provinces during this time period, so it's not accurate to what their shape was originally. Especially over here, more specifically, this area is fine. This is correct. But once you get to like this point and over, it definitely did not look like this. But this is what we have. It's all right. I'm sure they're fine with getting more land. I don't think they would complain. Anyway, they will make their capital city, of course, what it was back then. And then we will see the releasing of the orange country right here. They are now back into existence, and their capital city lies right here. So these pivotal northern Russian areas that were very important during World War III have all gone back to their respective countries, being Estonia, Poland, this orange country, and then the red country. These guys, I feel like they're recent enough. Now, maybe not Estonia and the orange country. Well, I mean, they were there in episode 23. After World War I, which was in the late 1800s, it's 2000 now, about 100 years. That's okay. Poland lasted that long in real life, so I feel like it's not too ridiculous to bring these guys back. Whereas, bringing back like the gold country from episode 1 or like 3 or 4, that would be ridiculous. Anyway, there's still some land that needs to be divided up in Russia, specifically over here in the central region. Now, there will be a little bit of a compromise made. This country that's been bullied by everybody, yeah, they're going to get some land out of this. There's a little bit of reparations. And that's a whole lot of reparation. But nonetheless, that is exactly what they are given. And now the seafoam green country is back on the rise. Let's go. Now, as for the rest of Central Asia, there are a few countries that I'm going to bring back. And this is from episode 33. So when I'm recording this now, that wasn't that long ago. But when you're seeing this video, that was a long time ago. You're seeing this on like the second week of February. I'm on the third week of January, bro. Crazy. Oh, but guess who didn't do the provinces by that time? So yeah, they're going to be the same color, not the same country though. Taking that back. Good job, adizzpros. You suck. But the country that we're bringing back right here is going to be this country is going to be the teal country. It didn't look like this when it existed a while ago, but maybe they decided to change their borders. This border right here, that's correct, but this is not. So I mean, it's whatever. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the exact same country. I'm just coloring it the same color because the flow of colors that I used to have works. Who would have known? Sometimes it gets a little too repetitive with the colors. Like, for example, in Europe, there's a little too much green for my liking, but I can't do anything about that until one of these three countries dies. So It's going to be like that forever, or is it? The next country is this one. If you remember it, it is now back. And luckily enough for the gold team, the Russians agreed to give them this province. It's kind of like a thank you for leaving the war early on and not continuing to invade us. We're collapsing now, so you can have it. We're not going to do anything with it. But now to the disgustment of many countries in Central Asia, the dark blue team returns. We all know this one. This one caused a lot of issues. They got annexed by Russia at one point, but they were throwing hands with... I mean, remember the bloodiness of this area? Russia stopped that from happening, but Russia's collapsing, so, I mean, what's stopping them from doing it again? And the full extent of the green team, now, I know they were here in episode 1. I know, it's not the same green team, not the same government, obviously, but it's the same people, same religion, same culture. It's the descendant of the green team. Same color, too. But they used to, like, kind of do that, and over here, and honestly, up here, too. They were all over the place over here, but slowly over time, the red team and eventually the old empire forced them over to Central Asia and like Kazakhstan or southern Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. And this is kind of like their get back right here. They now own this land, which is where their ancestors presided, but that was thousands of years ago. So anyway, Russia still collapsing. We got to continue on with that. Now for a big one. Boom. We got a big boy brown team country over here in central Russia, and I will add the capitals after I finish releasing all the Russian states. Speaking of, y'all see this right here? Like this kind of weird round thing right here? Yeah, I think that was a country a really long time ago. It looks familiar. Oh my god, I found it in episode 19, the dark blue country. I'm not bringing it back, but I thought that is pretty notable to find that right there. It's like a fossil. Anyway, the new countries from here on out, they will not be brought back countries, so we can go ahead and like I said, divide up the rest of Russia. All right, here's country number Here's country number uno, país número dos, país número tres, y finalmente país número cuatro. Y bien. Okay, no more Spanish, but we have our final country here, leaving the Russian state in the middle there. Do we color it a new color? I think we do, and nope, not that. Struggling to find colors here because there's just so many all of a sudden. Hesitant to do another green country, but it kind of helps with the relief, so we'll do that. We'll color it this color. And Russia as a state no longer exists. What is